Welcome, beautiful soul. What if I told you that the reason you haven't manifested the wealth you deserve isn't because you're doing something wrong, but because there's a hidden aspect of the law of attraction that most teachers deliberately keep secret? Today, I'm breaking the silence. I'm revealing the missing piece that transforms wishful thinking into tangible abundance. The secret that changed everything for me and countless others who discovered it. You've likely tried visualization techniques, you've created vision boards, you've recited affirmations until your voice grew tired. Yet the abundance you seek remains just beyond your reach, like a mirage in the desert, visible but untouchable. There's a reason for this, and it's not your fault. The traditional law of attraction teachings you've encountered are only giving you part of the formula. It's like trying to bake bread with flour and water, but missing the yeast, the essential catalyst that makes everything rise. This missing element is what separates those who merely wish for prosperity from those who actually receive it. Today, I'm going to reveal this hidden catalyst, the secret ingredient that the wealthy and abundantly blessed have known for centuries, but rarely share openly. This knowledge has been guarded, passed down through private circles, and kept from the masses. Why? Because true abundance is a form of power, and those who possess it often prefer to keep the deepest secrets to themselves. But I believe that prosperity is your divine birthright. The universe is infinitely abundant, and there is more than enough for everyone. That's why I've made it my mission to share this hidden knowledge with souls like yours. Seekers who are ready to transcend limitation and step into the abundant life they were meant to live. Before I reveal this transformative secret, let me ask you, have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly while others struggle despite doing everything right according to manifestation teachings? The answer isn't that they're luckier or more deserving. It's that they've tapped into the hidden dimension of the law of attraction that most people never discover. This hidden dimension works on a much deeper level than mere thoughts or visualizations. It works at the level of your energy field, the vibration you emit into the universe without even realizing it. And here's what's fascinating. This vibration is influenced by factors that most law of attraction teachers never address. I discovered this secret during my darkest hour. After losing everything, my savings, my home, my sense of security, I found myself sitting alone one night, questioning everything I thought I knew about manifestation. I had followed all the teachings diligently, yet abundance had slipped through my fingers like sand. That night, in the depths of despair, I experienced what I can only describe as a divine revelation. A profound understanding washed over me, illuminating the missing piece that had eluded me for so long. What I realized in that moment changed everything, not gradually, but almost instantly. Within 3 months of implementing this hidden principle, my financial situation transformed completely. Opportunities appeared as if from nowhere. Resources flowed to me in ways I couldn't have imagined. And most importantly, the constant anxiety about money that had plagued me for years simply dissolved. What I'm about to share with you isn't just theory. It's a proven approach that has transformed thousands of lives. One of my dear students, Marianne, was a 58-year-old widow drowning in debt after her husband's passing. After applying this hidden secret, she not only cleared her $87,000 debt within 1 year, but also manifested a beautiful new home and financial security she never thought possible at her age. Another student, Patricia, had spent decades working hard but always struggling to save. No matter what she did, money seemed to slip through her fingers. After learning this secret, she attracted an unexpected inheritance, followed by a business opportunity that now generates more passive income than her former full-time job ever provided. These aren't exceptional cases. They represent what's possible when you understand the complete law of attraction, not just the partial version that's commonly taught. Now, before I reveal this hidden dimension, I need to prepare you for something important. What I'm about to share may contradict things you've been taught about manifestation. It might even feel uncomfortable at first, because it will require you to examine deeply held beliefs that you may not even realize are blocking your abundance. The traditional law of attraction teaches that thoughts become things, that by thinking positive thoughts about wealth, you'll attract wealth into your life. This is partially true, but it's only the surface level. It's like saying that to drive a car, you just need to turn the key in the ignition, while ignoring all the complex systems that need to be functioning properly under the hood. The first key insight is this: your conscious thoughts about wealth are only the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface of your awareness lies the vast territory of your subconscious mind, a realm of deep beliefs, ancestral patterns, and energetic imprints that have far more influence over your manifestation power than your conscious thoughts ever could. Think of it this way: you can recite, "I am wealthy," 1,000 times a day, but if your subconscious programming says, "Wealth is not safe," or "money comes only through struggle," your manifestation efforts will be continuously sabotaged from below the surface. This subconscious programming wasn't created overnight. It's the result of everything you've absorbed since childhood: the comments your parents made about money, the social conditioning you received about wealth and those who possess it, the emotional experiences you've associated with financial situations. All of this forms what I call your prosperity DNA, the hidden code that determines how easily abundance flows to you. Here's what makes this so challenging. Much of this programming operates completely outside your awareness. You don't realize it's there, affecting every financial decision you make, every opportunity you either embrace or unconsciously reject, and every dollar that either flows to you or away from you. This is why traditional manifestation techniques often fall short. They focus on changing your conscious thoughts without addressing the subconscious barriers that are actually controlling the show. It's like trying to redirect a river by moving a few stones while ignoring the massive dam that's blocking the flow upstream. The secret I discovered, the hidden dimension of the law of attraction, is a method to reprogram this subconscious prosperity DNA directly. It bypasses the conscious mind entirely and works at the level where real transformation occurs. When I first began implementing this approach, I noticed something strange. It wasn't just my financial situation that changed. People around me began responding to me differently. Opportunities would present themselves in seemingly random conversations. People who could help me advance financially were suddenly drawn to me, wanting to collaborate or invest in my ideas. This happened because I had changed something more fundamental than my thoughts. I had changed my energetic frequency, the invisible vibration that either attracts or repels abundance. And unlike conscious thought patterns, which require constant maintenance and can easily slip back into negativity, this deeper reprogramming created lasting change that only strengthened over time. So what exactly is this hidden secret? What is the missing piece that transforms the law of attraction from a hit or miss proposition to a reliable force for creating abundance? It's something I call the vibrational asset alignment. And mastering it requires understanding 3 fundamental principles that most manifestation teachers never reveal. These principles work together to create a perfect alignment between your deepest subconscious beliefs, your energetic frequency, and the infinite abundance of the universe. The first principle involves identifying and releasing what I call prosperity blockages. Deep subconscious barriers that were installed in your energy field long before you had any say in the matter. These blockages act like invisible force fields, actually repelling wealth even as you're trying to attract it. The second principle focuses on activating your divine wealth blueprint, the energetic template for abundance that exists within every soul but remains dormant in most people. This blueprint, when properly activated, begins to magnetize prosperity to you in ways that feel almost miraculous. And the third principle, perhaps the most powerful of all, involves harmonizing your wealth frequency with the universal abundance field, creating a state of resonance that makes the flow of prosperity not just possible, but inevitable. Together, these three principles form the foundation of the vibrational asset alignment method. When properly implemented, they don't just change what you attract. They transform who you are at an energetic level, making you a natural match for the abundance you desire. I'll be breaking down each of these principles in detail, showing you exactly how to implement them in your daily life. And unlike many spiritual teachings that offer vague concepts with no practical application, I'll be giving you specific techniques and practices that create real-world results. But what makes this approach truly different is that it doesn't require hours of daily practice or dramatic lifestyle changes. The techniques I'll share can be integrated into your existing routine, taking as little as 17 minutes per day. Yet their impact on your prosperity consciousness and your financial reality will be profound. Are you starting to sense the possibilities here? Can you feel how different this approach is from what you've tried before? This isn't about forcing change through sheer willpower or positive thinking. It's about realigning your entire being with the natural state of abundance that is your birthright. Think about water for a moment. When water flows freely, it nourishes everything in its path. But when it's blocked, it becomes stagnant. Your prosperity energy works the same way. Right now, there are blockages in your energetic system that are preventing wealth from flowing freely into your life. The vibrational asset alignment removes these blockages, allowing prosperity to flow naturally, as it was always meant to. I'm about to share the first powerful technique for identifying and releasing your unique prosperity blockages. This technique alone has helped thousands of my students create breakthrough shifts in their financial reality. But before I reveal it, I need to warn you about something that might happen as you begin this work. As you start releasing these deep subconscious blocks, you might experience what I call prosperity detox. A temporary period where old patterns seem to intensify before they clear. This might manifest as unexpected expenses, conflicts around money, or strong emotions related to financial issues. This doesn't mean the process isn't working, quite the opposite. It means you're finally bringing these hidden blockages to the surface where they can be released once and for all. Understanding this detox period is crucial because many people abandon powerful transformation practices right at the moment when they're about to break through. They mistake the intensification of old patterns for failure when it's actually a sign of imminent success. By preparing you for this possibility, I'm ensuring you'll have the wisdom to continue through any temporary discomfort, knowing that extraordinary abundance awaits on the other side. Now, are you ready to discover the first key technique, the one that will begin dismantling the invisible barriers between you and the wealth you deserve? This method is so powerful that many of my students report feeling an immediate shift in their energy field, like a weight being lifted that they didn't even know they were carrying. And what happens next in their manifestation journey often astonishes them beyond belief. But before I reveal this transformative technique, I need to share something crucial about how wealth actually operates on a spiritual level, something that will completely change how you approach manifestation from this moment forward. The fundamental truth that most manifestation teachers miss is this: wealth is not just a physical resource, it's a living energy with its own consciousness. Yes, you heard that correctly. The energy of wealth is conscious, responsive, and, most importantly, it can sense your relationship with it. This understanding changes everything. When you begin to relate to wealth as a conscious energy rather than an inanimate resource, Your entire approach to manifestation transforms. Instead of trying to get money, you begin to create a relationship with the consciousness of wealth itself. Think about your closest relationships for a moment. They thrive on certain qualities: trust, appreciation, respect, consistency. Your relationship with the consciousness of wealth functions in exactly the same way. When you develop these qualities in how you relate to money energy, it responds by drawing closer to you, becoming a more constant presence in your life. This is why some people can lose everything and rebuild their wealth quickly, while others win the lottery only to find themselves broke again within a few years. The first group has a healthy, respectful relationship with the consciousness of wealth. The second group is trying to possess wealth without building a relationship with it, and the energy of money responds accordingly. Now let's move to the first powerful technique I promised you: the method for identifying and releasing your unique prosperity blockages. I call this the ancestral wealth pattern disruption, and it's specifically designed to locate and release the subconscious barriers that were installed in your energy field through your family lineage. Many of the most powerful blockages to wealth are not actually yours. They're inherited patterns that have been passed down through generations. Perhaps your grandparents lived through economic depression, instilling a scarcity mentality that was unknowingly transmitted to your parents and then to you. Or maybe there's a subtle family belief that people like us don't get to be wealthy, or money requires struggle and sacrifice. These inherited patterns are particularly difficult to identify through conventional methods because they feel so natural to you. They've been part of your energetic makeup since before you were consciously aware. They don't register as blocks because they feel like just the way things are. Here's how to perform the ancestral wealth pattern disruption. First, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed for about 15 minutes. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing your body to relax with each exhale. Now visualize yourself standing in a circular room with 7 doors. Each of these doors represents a generation in your family lineage: 3 generations before you, your own generation, and 3 generations after you. Starting with the door representing your parents' generation, walk toward it and allow it to open. As it opens, observe what you see regarding their relationship with money and prosperity. Don't try to analyze or judge, simply observe the images, feelings, or knowings that arise. What patterns do you notice? What phrases about money do you hear? What emotions are present around wealth and abundance? Make mental notes of everything you perceive. Then move to the door representing your grandparents' generation. Repeat the same process, observing their relationship with prosperity. Continue this process for each door, including the future generations. What you're doing is mapping your family's prosperity lineage. The inherited patterns, beliefs, and energetic imprints around wealth that have shaped your subconscious relationship with abundance. Once you've observed all 7 generations, return to the center of the room. Now imagine a golden light beginning to fill the space. This light represents pure, unlimited abundance consciousness, the truth of your spiritual birthright. As this light grows brighter, speak these words with conviction. I acknowledge these ancestral patterns around wealth and prosperity. I honor the survival wisdom they may have contained in their time, but they are not my truth. I now release all inherited limitations around abundance that no longer serve my highest good or the evolution of my lineage. Feel the golden light growing even more intense, dissolving the energetic bonds of these inherited patterns. Feel them lifting from your energy field like old, heavy clothing being removed. Experience the lightness and freedom as these ancestral imprints are released. Finally declare, I now reclaim my original prosperity consciousness. I stand as a transformational presence in my family lineage, healing the past and creating a new legacy of abundant living for the generations that follow. Money flows to me easily and abundantly, as is my divine right. This powerful practice does several things simultaneously. It brings unconscious patterns into awareness, honors their original protective purpose, releases their energetic hold on you, and establishes a new template for your relationship with wealth that benefits not just you, but your entire lineage. For optimal results, perform this process once a day for 7 consecutive days. Many of my students report remarkable shifts beginning to occur after just the 3rd day. Unexpected money appearing, new opportunities arising, and a tangible sense of lightness around financial matters. One student, Elizabeth, discovered through this process that her persistent financial struggles were connected to her grandmother's experience during the Great Depression. After releasing this ancestral pattern, she received an unexpected job offer with a salary nearly double what she had been making, within just 2 weeks of completing the 7-day practice. But the ancestral wealth pattern disruption is just the beginning. It creates space in your energy field by removing old blockages, but now we need to fill that space with new, empowering prosperity consciousness. This brings us to the second principle: activating your divine wealth blueprint. Every soul incarnates with specific energetic templates for all aspects of human experience, including abundance. I call this your divine wealth blueprint. Think of it as the original perfect design for how prosperity is meant to flow through your life. However, this blueprint becomes distorted and overlaid with limiting patterns through life experiences, social conditioning, and the ancestral patterns we just discussed. The good news is that blueprints cannot be destroyed, only covered up. Your perfect prosperity template remains intact beneath all the distortions, waiting to be reactivated. The technique for activating your divine wealth blueprint is what I call prosperity field resonance. This practice realigns your energy field with the original abundance template of your soul. Here's how to perform it. Find a quiet place where you can be undisturbed for about 20 minutes. Sit comfortably with your spine straight and your palms facing upward on your lap. Begin by focusing on your breath, allowing it to become slow and rhythmic. With each inhale, imagine drawing pure golden light into your body through the crown of your head. With each exhale, feel this light expanding throughout your entire being. After about 2 minutes of this breathing practice, place your attention on the center of your chest, your heart center. Visualize a small seed of golden light beginning to glow there. This seed contains your divine wealth blueprint in its perfect original form. As you continue breathing slowly and deeply, see this seed beginning to expand with each breath, growing from a tiny spark to a radiant sphere of golden light that fills your entire chest. Now, silently or in a whisper, begin to recite what I call the prosperity activation codes. A specific sequence of statements that resonates with and activates your divine wealth blueprint. I am a perfect vessel for unlimited abundance. Wealth flows to me easily and joyfully through seen and unseen channels. My prosperity serves the highest good of all. I am worthy of immense abundance simply because I exist. The more I receive, the more I can give. My wealth consciousness expands infinitely in all directions. I am aligned with the cosmic template of prosperity. Repeat each statement 3 times, allowing yourself to feel the truth of these words in your body. Don't just say them mechanically, really inhabit each statement, allowing it to vibrate through your entire being. As you recite these codes, visualize the golden sphere in your chest growing larger and more radiant, eventually extending beyond your physical body to create a luminous prosperity field around you. This field begins to pulse with a specific frequency, the exact vibrational signature of your divine wealth blueprint. Now comes the most powerful part of the practice. Imagine this prosperity field beginning to broadcast its frequency outward into the universe, like a beacon sending a specific signal. This signal attracts resonant energy, opportunities, resources, relationships, and circumstances that match the frequency of your activated wealth blueprint. To anchor this activation, place your right hand on your heart center and your left hand on your solar plexus, the soft area below your ribcage. Press gently and declare, "My divine wealth blueprint is now fully activated and operational. I move through the world as a living embodiment of prosperity consciousness." So it is. For maximum effectiveness, perform the prosperity field resonance technique daily for 21 days. This is the approximate time required to fully re-establish the neural and energetic pathways that support your divine wealth blueprint as your dominant prosperity pattern. Many participants in my programs report extraordinary synchronicities beginning to occur within the first week of this practice. Unexpected checks arriving in the mail, promotions being offered without applying, lucrative opportunities presenting themselves through seemingly random encounters. These aren't coincidences, they're the natural result of your realigned energy field broadcasting the frequency of your authentic prosperity pattern. One participant, Margaret, was a 62-year-old retired teacher who had always lived modestly. After practicing prosperity field resonance for just 17 days, she was approached by a former student who offered her a position as a consultant in his educational technology company, at a salary 3 times her former teaching income, with the flexibility to work from anywhere. Another participant, Diana, had struggled with erratic income as a freelance designer for years. Within 3 weeks of beginning this practice, she attracted 2 major corporate clients who placed her on long-term retainer, providing stable income that exceeded her previous year's total earnings. These results might seem miraculous, but they're simply the natural outcome of realigning with your soul's original abundance template. When you clear away the distortions and reactivate your divine wealth blueprint, you're not creating something new. You're returning to what was always meant to be your natural state. Now, as powerful as these first 2 principles are, they're still just preparing the ground for the third and most transformative element, harmonizing your wealth frequency with the universal abundance field. This is where the hidden secret of the law of attraction truly reveals its power. The universe itself is fundamentally abundant. Look at the countless stars in the galaxy, the grains of sand on a beach, the atoms in a single drop of water. Scarcity is a human construct, a perception rather than an ultimate reality. The universal abundance field is the energetic dimension where this limitless prosperity exists in its pure, unmanifested potential. Most people's personal energy fields are operating at a frequency that's discordant with this universal abundance field. It's like trying to tune into a radio station with the dial set to the wrong frequency. The broadcast is there, but you can't receive it clearly. The technique for harmonizing your wealth frequency with the universal abundance field is what I call abundance field immersion. This practice creates a state of perfect resonance between your personal energy and the infinite prosperity of the cosmos. Here's how to perform it. This practice is ideally done outdoors in nature, but it can be adapted for indoor practice if necessary. Find a time when you can be undisturbed for about 30 minutes. Begin by standing with your feet shoulder-width apart, arms relaxed at your sides. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, allowing your awareness to expand beyond your physical body. Now, imagine the universal abundance field as an infinite ocean of golden light that surrounds you in all directions. This field contains every possible form of prosperity, financial wealth, opportunities, resources, connections, ideas, and more in its pure potential state. Raise your arms slowly to shoulder height, palms facing outward. As you do this, set the clear intention to open your energy field to receive the full frequency of universal abundance. Begin to slowly rotate in a clockwise direction toward your right, maintaining your position with arms extended. As you turn, visualize the universal abundance field beginning to spiral around you, creating a vortex of golden prosperity energy. After 3 complete rotations, stop and stand still. Keep your arms extended, but turn your palms to face upward. Now imagine this swirling vortex of abundance energy beginning to condense and flow into your body, through your palms, the soles of your feet, and the crown of your head. Feel this concentrated prosperity energy filling every cell of your being, adjusting the frequency of your personal energy field to match perfectly with the universal abundance field. Experience the sensation of your body becoming a tuning fork, vibrating in exact harmony with cosmic prosperity. When you feel complete saturation, lower your arms and place your palms over your heart center. In this position, speak these words of integration. I am now in perfect resonance with universal abundance. My personal prosperity field is harmonized with the infinite wealth of the cosmos. I receive freely and fully, as is my divine birthright. To seal the practice, touch your forehead, heart, and then each shoulder, forming a diamond pattern. This sacred geometry helps to lock the new frequency in place within your energy field. For optimal results, perform the abundance field immersion 3 times per week for 4 weeks. This consistent practice progressively attunes your personal energy field to the frequency of limitless prosperity, making you a natural match for wealth in all its forms. The results of this harmonization process can be truly extraordinary. Participants often report not just improved financial circumstances, but a complete transformation in how they experience abundance. Money begins to feel like a natural, effortless flow rather than something to struggle for or worry about. One participant, Jennifer, had spent decades anxiously checking her bank account and meticulously budgeting every expense. After 4 weeks of practicing abundance field immersion, she described a profound shift. For the first time in my life, I feel completely at ease about money. Not because I suddenly have millions, but because I know at the deepest level that I'm always supported. And ironically, since developing this trust, my income has nearly doubled through channels I couldn't have predicted. Another participant, Robert, had been stuck at the same income level for 7 years, despite working increasingly longer hours. Within 2 months of beginning this practice, he received 2 significant promotions and a surprising inheritance from a distant relative he'd never met, tripling his net worth and freeing him from the constant overwork that had characterized his previous financial strategy. These 3 principles, ancestral wealth pattern disruption, prosperity field resonance, and abundance field immersion, form the foundation of the vibrational asset alignment method. When practiced together, they create a complete transformation of your relationship with prosperity on every level: the subconscious, the soul blueprint, and the universal field. But here's something crucial to understand. This isn't just about manifesting more money, although that will certainly occur. It's about fundamentally changing your relationship with abundance itself. When this transformation happens, prosperity becomes your natural state rather than something you're constantly trying to attract or achieve. In this new relationship with wealth, you'll notice several profound shifts. First, your prosperity will develop a momentum of its own. Instead of constantly needing to visualize, affirm, or work toward abundance, you'll find that wealth begins to flow toward you through unexpected channels, often requiring minimal effort on your part. Second, your manifestations will accelerate dramatically. The lag time between intention and manifestation shrinks as your vibrational alignment with abundance strengthens. What might have taken years to attract in the past may now appear within weeks or even days. Third, you'll experience what I call prosperity synchronicities. Meaningful coincidences related to abundance that seem almost magically orchestrated. The right people, opportunities, and resources will appear just when you need them, often in ways that defy conventional explanation. And finally, you'll develop an unshakable prosperity consciousness that doesn't fluctuate with external circumstances. Even when facing temporary challenges, your inner sense of abundance remains stable, preventing the fear-based contractions that typically block the flow of wealth. Now, I want to address something important. This approach may seem very different from the law of attraction teachings you've encountered before. That's intentional. Most manifestation teachers focus on the mechanics of attraction, visualization, affirmation, vision boards, and so on. These tools can be useful, but they're dealing with the surface level of the manifestation process. The vibrational asset alignment method goes to the source, the energetic foundation that determines how effectively those surface-level tools will work for you. It's the difference between trying to get better reception by adjusting an antenna versus upgrading the entire receiving system to a more powerful technology. That's why people who discover this hidden dimension of the law of attraction often experience such dramatic shifts. They're not just improving their manifestation techniques, they're transforming the very foundation from which they manifest. In the next section, I'm going to reveal the daily practice that integrates all three principles into a simple 17-minute routine. This powerful protocol will systematically reprogram your entire relationship with wealth at the deepest level. The consistency of this practice is what creates lasting transformation rather than temporary improvements. I'll also share the 7 sacred prosperity activators, specific energy centers in your subtle body that, when properly stimulated, create an exponential increase in your manifestation power. Most people's prosperity activators are dormant or only minimally functioning. Awakening them fully unleashes manifestation abilities you may never have believed possible. But before I share these advanced practices, I want to emphasize something crucial about this work. The transformation you're creating is not just for you. As you realign with your true prosperity consciousness, you become a living transmission of abundance for everyone around you. Your shifted vibration helps to elevate the collective field, making it easier for others to access greater prosperity as well. This is the true purpose of wealth, not mere accumulation, but elevation. When you embody authentic abundance consciousness, you naturally become more generous, more creative, more able to contribute to solutions for our world's challenges. You become a prosperity way-shower, someone whose very presence reminds others of the abundance that is their birthright too. And this brings us to a profound truth about the hidden dimension of the law of attraction. The universe is actually seeking to express greater abundance through you. Your prosperity isn't just something you're trying to attract, it's something the universe is actively trying to manifest through your unique life and gifts. When you understand this truth, everything shifts. Instead of striving and struggling to attract wealth, you simply remove the barriers that have been preventing the natural flow of abundance that always wanted to express through you. You become a clear channel for prosperity rather than a seeker of it. This perspective transforms manifestation from an effortful practice to a surrendered allowing, a profound shift that accelerates your results exponentially. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how to embody this surrendered allowing through specific practices that open you fully to the wealth that is already trying to find you. But before I reveal these transformative techniques, I must share the most crucial aspect of this entire approach, the fundamental shift in identity that makes all the other practices exponentially more powerful. The most powerful force in manifestation isn't technique, it's identity. Who you believe yourself to be at the deepest level determines what you can attract and sustain in your life. This is the profound truth that most manifestation teachings miss entirely. Let me explain. If you see yourself fundamentally as someone who has to work hard for money, who doesn't quite deserve abundance, or who is not the type of person who experiences effortless prosperity, then no amount of visualization or affirmation will override that core identity. This is why the vibrational asset alignment method begins with a fundamental identity shift that I call prosperity essence embodiment. This isn't about trying to become someone new. It's about recognizing and reclaiming who you truly are beneath the accumulated layers of limiting beliefs and false identities. Your true essence, your soul nature, is inherently abundant. Just as a seed contains everything needed to become a magnificent tree, your essential nature contains the fullness of prosperity consciousness. The process isn't about creating abundance. It's about removing the obstructions that have prevented your natural abundance from expressing itself fully. The prosperity essence embodiment practice facilitates this profound identity shift. Here's how to perform it. Find a quiet, private space where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie comfortably and close your eyes. Take several deep breaths, allowing your awareness to withdraw from external concerns and settle into your body. Begin by asking yourself this powerful question: who would I be if I had never been taught to doubt my worthiness of abundance? Allow this question to penetrate deeply, beyond your thinking mind. Don't try to answer intellectually. Instead, feel into the question. Sense how your energy shifts as you consider this possibility. Notice what happens in your body, your emotions, your sense of self. Now bring your attention to the center of your chest, slightly above your physical heart. This is the location of what many traditions call the soul seat, the energetic center where your eternal essence resides. As you focus on this area, begin to sense the quality of your soul's natural relationship with abundance, not your personality's relationship with money or your history with finances, but your soul's original, unconditioned connection to universal prosperity. You might perceive this as a color, a feeling, a knowing, or simply an energetic signature. However it presents itself, allow yourself to recognize this is the truth of who I am in relation to abundance. Now speak these words silently or aloud. I am not the story of limitation I have lived. I am not the scarcity I have experienced. I am not the financial struggles I have known. These were experiences I had, not who I am. My true identity is infinite prosperity consciousness, temporarily expressing through human form. Feel the profound truth of this statement. Let it resonate through every cell of your being. Feel the relief of releasing a false identity you've been carrying, perhaps for decades. Now, imagine stepping fully into your prosperity essence, the abundant, wealthy, magnetically attractive being that is your true nature. Feel yourself becoming this essence, not as a future possibility, but as your present reality. From this embodied state of your prosperity essence, look at your life circumstances with new eyes. See how they begin to shift and realign to match your reclaimed identity. Watch as new possibilities open that weren't visible from your previous perspective. To complete the practice, place one hand on your heart and the other on your lower abdomen. Create a circuit of energy between these two centers as you declare, I am prosperity embodied. This is my true nature and my birthright. From this day forward, I live from my prosperity essence in all that I do, all that I have, and all that I am. This practice should be performed daily for 40 consecutive days, the traditional length of time required for complete identity transformation. Many participants report significant shifts beginning to occur within the first 2 weeks, but the full embodiment of your prosperity essence unfolds progressively over the entire 40-day period. The power of this practice cannot be overstated. One participant, Catherine, had struggled with feast or famine income patterns for decades, despite running a successful consulting business. After 40 days of prosperity essence embodiment, she reported, "It's as if I'm living in an entirely different financial reality now. Not only has my income stabilized at my previous peak levels, but I'm working fewer hours and attracting higher quality clients who energize rather than drain me." The most profound shift, though, is internal. The constant anxiety about money that was my lifelong companion has simply dissolved. Another participant, Michael, had always maintained a modest lifestyle despite a strong desire for greater prosperity, believing that wealth wasn't really meant for people like him. After completing the 40-day practice, he found himself spontaneously making different choices, pursuing opportunities he would have previously ignored, and attracting financial windfalls that increased his net worth by 270% within 6 months. What's happening in these cases isn't just improved manifestation, it's a fundamental shift in who these individuals know themselves to be. From this new identity baseline, different choices, actions, and attractions occur naturally, without the need for constant conscious effort. Now that we've established this foundation of reclaimed identity, let's integrate the 3 principles we explored earlier into a powerful daily practice that will systematically transform your relationship with wealth. I call this the 17-minute prosperity protocol, and it combines elements of all 3 principles into a time-efficient yet extraordinarily effective routine. Here's how the 17-minute prosperity protocol works. Minutes 1-5. Ancestral clearing. Begin by sitting comfortably with your spine straight and your palms resting on your thighs. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Visualize yourself surrounded by a sphere of golden light. This light represents your sovereign energy field, the space where you have complete authority to determine what energies can remain and what must be released. Now bring to mind any limiting beliefs or patterns around prosperity that you've identified through the ancestral wealth pattern disruption practice. See these patterns as dark cords or threads connected to your energy field. Speak firmly but compassionately. I acknowledge these ancestral patterns and the protection they once provided, but they no longer serve my highest evolution or the evolution of my lineage. I now consciously release and dissolve these limitations. Visualize the golden light growing more intense, dissolving these cords one by one. Feel each release as a lightening of your energy, an expansion of your capacity to receive. Finally, declare, "Where there was limitation, I now choose abundance. Where there was fear, I now choose trust. Where there was scarcity, I now choose infinite prosperity. This is my sovereign choice, and it is done." Minutes 6-11, Blueprint Activation. Place your right hand over your heart center. Feel the warmth of your palm activating the divine wealth blueprint that resides there. With each breath, imagine this blueprint glowing more brightly, its perfect pattern of prosperity beginning to broadcast throughout your being. Recite the 7 prosperity activation codes we explored earlier, feeling each one resonating through your entire field. I am a perfect vessel for unlimited abundance. Wealth flows to me easily and joyfully through seen and unseen channels. My prosperity serves the highest good of all. I am worthy of immense abundance simply because I exist. The more I receive, the more I can give. My wealth consciousness expands infinitely in all directions. I am aligned with the cosmic template of prosperity. As you recite these codes, visualize your divine wealth blueprint fully activating, sending its perfect prosperity pattern into every cell of your body and every aspect of your energy field. Minutes 12-16, Field Harmonization. Now, imagine yourself standing within the infinite ocean of the universal abundance field. This boundless field contains all prosperity in its potential state, waiting to be drawn into your experience. Begin a gentle, rhythmic breathing pattern. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2. Exhale for 6, hold for 2. As you breathe, visualize yourself as a tuning fork, gradually matching your vibration to the exact frequency of universal abundance. With each breath cycle, feel your personal energy field harmonizing more perfectly with this cosmic prosperity. Experience the sensation of becoming a superconductor for wealth energy, a clear, open channel through which abundance can flow without resistance. Minute 17. Integration and embodiment. For this final minute, simply sit in the awareness of your prosperity essence, the truth of who you really are in relation to abundance. Feel yourself as prosperity embodied, not seeking wealth but being wealth, not trying to attract abundance but radiating it naturally from the core of your being. Place your hands in a prayer position at your heart and silently affirm, I am prosperity consciousness in human form. This is not something I create, it is what I am. I now live from this truth in all areas of my life. And so it is. This powerful 17-minute protocol, practiced daily, creates a progressive transformation in your relationship with prosperity. The beauty of this approach is that it works on multiple levels simultaneously, clearing subconscious blocks, activating your divine template, and harmonizing with the universal field. What makes this protocol particularly effective is that it doesn't require you to maintain conscious focus on prosperity throughout your day. The 17 minutes of focused practice sets the energetic tone that continues to operate on a subconscious level even as you go about your normal activities. This allows the transformation to occur organically without the strain of constant conscious effort. Now, let me share with you the 7 sacred prosperity activators I mentioned earlier. These are specific energy centers in your subtle anatomy that, when properly stimulated, create an exponential increase in your manifestation power. Most spiritual traditions focus on the 7 major chakras, which are indeed important energy centers. However, there exist what esoteric traditions call secondary centers that serve specific functions. Among these are 7 centers specifically attuned to prosperity consciousness, yet they remain dormant in most people due to cultural conditioning around money and abundance. Here are the 7 sacred prosperity activators and how to awaken them. The abundance root, located 2 inches below the navel. This center governs your fundamental sense of safety and trust in the universe's provision. When activated, it creates a deep knowing that you will always have what you need, releasing the anxiety that blocks prosperity flow. To activate, place your palm over this area and rotate it clockwise 7 times while affirming, I am deeply rooted in the infinite provision of the universe. The prosperity gate, located at the center of each palm. These twin centers control the flow of wealth energy into your physical experience. When fully open, they become powerful attractors for material abundance. To activate, rub your palms together vigorously for 30 seconds, then hold them facing each other about 6 inches apart. Feel the energy pulsating between them as you affirm, my hands are divine instruments of giving and receiving abundant wealth. The manifestation seed, located at the 3rd eye, center of forehead. This center governs your ability to clearly envision and hold the energy of your desired prosperity. When activated, it dramatically accelerates the manifestation process. To activate, place your thumb at this point and apply gentle pressure while visualizing this center opening like a golden flower. Affirm, my vision of abundance manifests with divine timing and perfect precision. The wealth vessel, located at the hollow of the throat. This center controls how you communicate your prosperity consciousness to the universe. When activated, it ensures your words and energy are in alignment with the abundance you desire. To activate, gently touch this area with your fingertips and hum a single tone for 30 seconds, feeling the vibration resonating through this center. Then affirm, "My words and energy declare my infinite prosperity to the universe." The heart of gold, located at the center of the chest. This center governs your emotional relationship with wealth, whether you feel worthy, whether abundance brings joy or anxiety, whether money feels like a friend or enemy. When activated, it establishes wealth as a loving, natural presence in your life. To activate, place both hands over this center and breathe deeply into it for 7 breaths, feeling it warming and expanding with each breath. Affirm, "I love wealth, and wealth loves me. Our relationship is divine and perfect." The prosperity crown, located 2 inches above the top of the head. This center connects you to higher dimensions of abundance that transcend physical wealth, the prosperity of spirit, wisdom, connection, and purpose. When activated, it infuses your material abundance with deeper meaning and spiritual significance. To activate, hold your hand about 3 inches above the top of your head and make small clockwise circles, feeling this center beginning to spin and open. Affirm, "I receive abundance on all levels of my being, from the physical to the divine." The wealth integration grid, visualized as a web of golden light connecting all 6 previous centers. This isn't a specific center, but a network that harmonizes all prosperity activators into a unified field. When activated, it ensures that your abundance consciousness functions as an integrated whole, rather than disconnected aspects. To activate. After activating each individual center, visualize streams of golden light connecting them all in a luminous web. Feel this network pulsating with unified prosperity consciousness as you affirm, "All aspects of my prosperity consciousness now work in perfect, divine harmony." To fully awaken these sacred prosperity activators, work with 1 center per day, completing the full circuit each week. After 3 complete cycles, 21 days, perform the full activation sequence daily for another 21 days. As these centers awaken, you'll notice distinct shifts in your prosperity consciousness. Your relationship with wealth will become increasingly natural and effortless. Manifestation will accelerate. Your sense of deserving will strengthen. Most importantly, the joy factor in your experience of abundance will expand dramatically. Prosperity will become not just a material condition, but a state of being that infuses every aspect of your life. One participant, Josephine, had always maintained what she called a respectful but distant relationship with money, managing it carefully but never truly enjoying it. After activating her prosperity centers, she reported a profound shift. "For the first time in my life, I feel genuine delight in my relationship with wealth. Not just having money, but the whole experience of abundance, giving, receiving, investing, sharing. It's become a source of creativity and joy rather than management and concern. This joyful relationship with prosperity is actually key to its expansion in your life. The universe responds not just to your thoughts and beliefs about abundance, but to the emotional energy you associate with it. When wealth becomes a source of genuine pleasure rather than anxiety or pressure, it naturally increases, like any relationship that flourishes when infused with positive emotion. Now let's address an important question that often arises. How long will it take to see results from these practices? While each person's journey is unique, there's typically a consistent pattern to how these transformations unfold. Within the first 7 days, most participants notice subtle shifts in their relationship with wealth, a lessening of anxiety, more awareness of abundance that already exists in their lives, and spontaneous insights about their prosperity patterns. Between days 8 and 21, many begin experiencing what I call prosperity precursors. small but meaningful financial windfalls, unexpected opportunities, and an increasing sense of being in flow with abundance. Between days 22 and 40, more significant manifestations typically begin to appear. Substantial increases in income, major opportunities, valuable connections, and a noticeable shift in how easily resources come into their experience. By days 41 to 60, many participants report what feels like a complete transformation in their prosperity consciousness. Abundance has become their new normal rather than an occasional visitor. Their identity has shifted from someone seeking wealth to someone who naturally attracts and embodies it. Of course, these timeframes can vary based on several factors: the depth of your previous prosperity, blockages, your consistency with the practices, and your ability to remain in the vibration of your prosperity essence, even when outer circumstances have not yet caught up with your inner transformation. This last point is crucial and brings us to what I believe is the most powerful prosperity secret of all: the ability to maintain your abundance consciousness regardless of external conditions. Most people allow their sense of prosperity to fluctuate based on their bank account, their current income, or their material possessions. When these external factors are abundant, they feel prosperous. When they diminish, their prosperity consciousness contracts. This reactive approach creates a perpetual roller coaster of manifestation, attracting some abundance, then losing it, then attracting it again in an endless cycle. The true masters of manifestation have learned to maintain their prosperity consciousness independent of external circumstances. This isn't about denial or magical thinking. It's about understanding a fundamental metaphysical truth. Your external reality is always moving to catch up with your internal state, but there's a lag time between cause and effect. When you can hold your prosperity consciousness stable during this lag time, maintaining it even when your physical circumstances have not yet reflected the change, you create a powerful attractive force that eventually must manifest in your external reality. I call this practice prosperity constancy, and it's the capstone of the vibrational asset alignment method. Here's how to develop this advanced manifestation skill. First, establish a daily connection with your prosperity essence through the 17-minute prosperity protocol we explored earlier. This creates a strong foundation of abundance consciousness that you can build upon. Throughout your day, set regular prosperity pulse moments, brief check-ins where you consciously realign with your prosperity consciousness. These can be as simple as taking 3 breaths while affirming, "I am prosperity embodied, regardless of what appears in my external reality." When challenging financial situations arise, as they sometimes will, especially during the transition period, practice what I call prosperity presence. Instead of contracting into worry or scarcity, consciously expand your energy field and affirm, "This circumstance is temporary, my abundance is eternal. I choose to remain in my prosperity essence even as this situation resolves itself." Develop prosperity constancy by regularly visualizing yourself maintaining perfect abundance consciousness through various scenarios, receiving unexpected bills, experiencing a reduction in income, witnessing others struggling financially. In your visualization, see yourself remaining steadfast in your prosperity consciousness, regardless of these external triggers. Finally, practice future self-merging, a powerful technique where you connect with the version of yourself who has already mastered prosperity constancy. Spend time each day feeling into this advanced state of consciousness, gradually merging with it until it becomes your new normal. This ability to maintain unwavering prosperity consciousness, regardless of external circumstances, is what distinguishes masters of manifestation from dabblers. It's the difference between occasional bursts of abundance and a life of sustained, expanding prosperity. One of my most remarkable students, Eleanor, mastered this skill during a period of apparent financial disaster. Her business failed, she lost her savings, and she was facing potential bankruptcy. Yet she committed to maintaining her prosperity consciousness through this intense challenge. Each day, regardless of the mounting external pressure, she performed her prosperity practices and held firm to her identity as abundance embodied. Rather than viewing her circumstances as evidence that the practices weren't working, she understood them as the perfect opportunity to develop prosperity constancy. Within 3 months, her situation had completely transformed. A previous client approached her with an opportunity that not only resolved her immediate financial challenges, but established a new business venture that far exceeded her previous income. Looking back, she realized that the apparent disaster was actually the universe's way of redirecting her to a much greater prosperity than she had previously imagined possible. This pattern is remarkably common. What appears as financial contraction is often the prelude to extraordinary expansion, provided you can maintain your prosperity consciousness through the transition. This isn't just positive thinking, it's practical metaphysics. When you refuse to let external circumstances dictate your internal state, you become a powerful creator rather than a reactor. And this brings us to the final aspect of the vibrational asset alignment method, understanding the prosperity spiral. Unlike conventional thinking that views wealth as a linear progression, gradually having more over time, true abundance follows a spiral pattern of expansion and apparent contraction. These cycles of expansion and contraction aren't random. They're part of a natural growth process that, when understood properly, becomes predictable and even useful in your prosperity journey. During expansion phases, abundance flows easily. Opportunities appear, resources increase, and manifestation seems effortless. The temptation during these phases is to believe that you've arrived and no longer need to maintain your prosperity practices. During apparent contraction phases, the outer flow of abundance may temporarily slow or even reverse. These phases aren't failures of manifestation, but essential parts of the spiral. They're periods of integration, realignment, and preparation for the next level of expansion. The key to navigating this prosperity spiral is twofold. First, continuing your practices with absolute consistency, regardless of which phase you're in. And second, recognizing that what appears as contraction is often actually compression, the gathering of energy for a quantum leap to your next level of prosperity. One of my students, Thomas, experienced this pattern dramatically. After several months of remarkable financial expansion, he encountered what seemed like a sudden drying up of opportunities. Rather than panicking, he recognized this as a compression phase in the prosperity spiral. He doubled down on his practices and maintained his abundance consciousness despite the apparent setback. 3 weeks later, he received an opportunity that literally dwarfed anything he had previously experienced. A business partnership that increased his income potential by a factor of 10. Looking back, he realized that the contraction was actually the universe's way of redirecting his energy toward this much larger opportunity that wasn't visible from his previous perspective. This understanding of the prosperity spiral transforms how you view the ups and downs of your financial journey. Instead of interpreting temporary slowdowns as failures or evidence that it's not working, you recognize them as natural and necessary phases in an ever-expanding spiral of abundance. Now, as we conclude this section, I want to emphasize that the practices I've shared are not merely techniques, they're doorways to a fundamentally different relationship with prosperity. When fully integrated, they don't just change what you have, they transform who you are in relation to abundance. This transformation is profound and far-reaching. Not only does your financial situation improve, but your entire experience of life shifts. The anxiety that accompanies scarcity consciousness dissolves, replaced by a deep trust in the universe's provision. The constant striving for more relaxes into an appreciation of the abundance already present. The separation between spiritual and material prosperity dissolves, revealing them as different expressions of the same fundamental energy. In the next and final section, I'll share how to integrate these principles into your daily life through a simple but powerful routine that requires minimal time, yet produces maximum results. I'll also reveal the 3 abundance accelerators that can compress decades of manifestation evolution into months or even weeks. But before we move to these final revelations, I want to share one more crucial insight about the hidden dimension of the law of attraction. The ultimate purpose of abundance is not accumulation, it's contribution. The universe doesn't flow prosperity to you simply for your personal enjoyment, but so that you can become a channel through which greater good can manifest in the world. When you align your prosperity consciousness with a greater purpose, a sincere desire to serve, to create, to contribute, you open yourself to levels of abundance that simply aren't available for purely self-focused manifestation. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy wealth, quite the opposite, but it does mean that the highest levels of prosperity come to those who see themselves as stewards rather than owners, channels rather than endpoints. As you continue developing your prosperity consciousness, I encourage you to regularly ask yourself, how does my abundance serve a greater purpose? How does it contribute to the well-being of others? How does it allow me to express my unique gifts more fully in the world? These questions activate what I call the prosperity magnifier effect, a quantum increase in your manifestation power that occurs when your abundance is aligned with contribution to the greater good. And in our final section, I'll show you exactly how to activate this effect in your own life. The ultimate mastery of the hidden dimension of the law of attraction comes when you integrate these principles so deeply that they become your natural way of being rather than techniques you practice. This integration doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. In fact, the most powerful approach is often the simplest one applied with absolute consistency. Let me share with you what I call the prosperity integration formula, a straightforward daily practice that weaves these principles into the fabric of your everyday life. This formula consists of 3 simple elements that, when practiced consistently, create a profound transformation in your relationship with abundance. The first element is what I call morning prosperity priming. This brief practice, performed within the first 30 minutes of waking, sets the energetic tone for your entire day. Here's how to do it. Before getting out of bed, take 3 deep breaths, allowing your awareness to fully return to your body. Place your right hand over your heart center and your left hand over your solar plexus. In this position, silently affirm, I am prosperity consciousness in human form. Today, I move through the world as the embodiment of divine abundance. Every experience, every interaction, every circumstance serves the expansion of my prosperity consciousness. I am aligned with the infinite abundance of the universe in all that I do, all that I have, and all that I am. As you speak these words, feel your energy field expanding and aligning with the frequency of prosperity. Experience yourself becoming a clear channel through which abundance flows naturally. Now take a moment to visualize your day unfolding from this state of prosperity consciousness. See yourself moving through your planned activities while maintaining perfect alignment with abundance energy. Imagine prosperity flowing to you through expected and unexpected channels throughout the day. Finally, set a clear prosperity intention for the day, not just a desire for more money, but an intention for how you'll embody prosperity consciousness in your activities, relationships, and choices. For example, today I intend to maintain my abundance awareness regardless of external circumstances. Or, today I intend to be a channel through which prosperity flows to myself and others. This entire practice takes less than 5 minutes, but creates a powerful prosperity foundation for your day. It's like setting the frequency on a radio. Once established, it continues broadcasting on that channel until you consciously change it. The second element of the prosperity integration formula is what I call abundance anchoring. This practice involves creating brief moments throughout your day to recenter in your prosperity consciousness. Here's how to implement it. Set a gentle alarm or reminder to sound every 2 to 3 hours during your waking day. When it sounds, pause for just 30 seconds to a minute, regardless of what you're doing. During this brief pause, take a deep breath and silently ask yourself, am I in alignment with prosperity consciousness right now? Notice if you've drifted into limitation, worry, or scarcity thinking. If you find that you have drifted, simply acknowledge it without judgment and consciously shift back into prosperity consciousness. You might use a simple affirmation like, I now return to the truth of who I am, prosperity embodied. Then take another breath and feel yourself realigning with the frequency of abundance before continuing with your activities. This practice takes less than a minute each time, but serves as a powerful course correction throughout your day. Instead of waiting until your next formal prosperity session to realign, you're maintaining consistent abundance consciousness from morning until night. The third element is evening prosperity integration, a brief practice before sleep that allows your subconscious mind to process and integrate the day's abundance experiences. Here's the process. As you lie in bed preparing for sleep, place your attention on your heart center. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing your body to relax completely. Review your day from the perspective of prosperity consciousness. Notice moments when you maintained strong alignment with abundance, as well as times when you may have drifted into limitation thinking. For the aligned moments, silently affirm, I celebrate how I embodied prosperity consciousness in these experiences. This alignment is becoming my natural state. For moments of limitation, silently affirm, I release any judgment about these experiences and extract the wisdom they contain. I now return to perfect alignment with my prosperity consciousness. Now imagine your subconscious mind continuing to integrate prosperity consciousness while you sleep. Set the intention. As I sleep, my subconscious mind strengthens my alignment with infinite abundance, dissolving any remaining limitations and expanding my capacity to receive. This evening practice takes just 3 to 5 minutes, but leverages the powerful processing that occurs during sleep to accelerate your prosperity transformation. Together, these 3 elements, morning prosperity priming, abundance anchoring, and evening prosperity integration, create a continuous cycle of abundance consciousness that extends throughout your 24-hour day. Even while sleeping, your subconscious mind continues the integration process, strengthening your new prosperity patterns. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and minimal time requirement. The entire formula requires less than 15 minutes of your day. Yet it creates a profound shift in your relationship with abundance by maintaining consistent prosperity consciousness. Now let me share with you the 3 abundance accelerators I mentioned earlier, powerful catalysts that can compress decades of manifestation evolution into months or even weeks. These accelerators, when added to the foundation we've established, create extraordinary results in remarkably short time frames. The first abundance accelerator is what I call prosperity immersion. This involves surrounding yourself with physical reminders, environments, experiences, and relationships that reinforce your new prosperity identity. Start by creating what I call a wealth resonance field in your physical environment. This doesn't mean buying expensive things you can't afford. Instead, it means intentionally arranging your space to reflect and reinforce abundance consciousness. This might include displaying symbols of prosperity that are meaningful to you, using color psychology strategically. Golds, purples, greens, and blues tend to resonate with abundance energy. Creating a designated prosperity altar where you place objects that represent wealth and abundance to you personally. Ensuring your space is clean, organized, and spacious, as clutter and disorder can block the flow of prosperity energy. Surrounding yourself with living plants, which naturally embody the principle of growth and abundance. Next, immerse yourself in prosperity-aligned information and inspiration. This includes books, audios, videos, and courses that reinforce abundance consciousness. Be extremely selective about the media you consume, consciously choosing content that elevates your prosperity vibration and filtering out anything that reinforces scarcity or limitation. Finally, consider the prosperity vibration of your relationships and social environment. This doesn't mean abandoning friends who aren't wealthy. Rather, it means becoming aware of the abundance or scarcity consciousness that dominates your social interactions. Seek out conversations and connections that reinforce expansion rather than limitation. Sometimes, simply shifting the focus of your existing relationships toward more abundant topics can create a powerful shift. The second abundance accelerator is prosperity service, the practice of consciously being a channel through which abundance flows to others. This powerful principle activates what spiritual traditions have long understood. We increase what we circulate. This doesn't mean giving away money you need for essential expenses. Instead, it means developing a conscious practice of sharing prosperity in ways that maintain or increase your energetic abundance rather than depleting it. This might include sharing knowledge, wisdom, or insights about prosperity with others who are receptive, offering genuine appreciation and acknowledgement, which are forms of non-material wealth, circulating resources, connections, or opportunities within your community. Giving financial contributions, even small ones, to causes that resonate with your values. Performing acts of service that utilize your unique gifts and talents. The key is to engage in these acts of prosperity service from a consciousness of abundance rather than sacrifice. You're not giving because you should or because you expect something in return. You're giving because you recognize yourself as a channel through which abundance naturally flows to you and through you to others. Each time you engage in prosperity service, affirm, I am a clear, open channel for the infinite abundance of the universe. Wealth flows to me and through me with perfect divine timing. As I circulate prosperity, I experience ever-increasing abundance in all forms. This practice activates what I call the circulation principle of wealth, the understanding that abundance is not a static possession but a flowing energy. The more freely you allow it to flow through you, the more powerfully it flows to you. The third and most potent abundance accelerator is what I call prosperity co-creation. This involves consciously partnering with the intelligence of the universe to manifest specific forms of abundance aligned with your sole purpose and highest good. Unlike generic manifestation practices, prosperity co-creation recognizes that the universe has a unique prosperity plan for your life that may differ from your limited personal conception. By entering into conscious partnership with this higher intelligence, you open yourself to forms and expressions of abundance that far exceed what you might have imagined on your own. Here's how to practice prosperity co-creation. Begin by entering a meditative state where you feel deeply connected to the universal intelligence. This might be through prayer, meditation, or simply quieting your mind and opening to a sense of divine presence. From this connected state, articulate your desire for expanded prosperity, but with an attitude of openness rather than specific demands. For example, I am open to receiving the perfect forms of abundance that serve my highest good and the fulfillment of my soul purpose. I trust the divine wisdom to bring prosperity to me in ways that may exceed my current understanding or expectations. Now enter a state of deep listening. Rather than filling the space with your own ideas and plans, create an open receptivity where divine guidance can emerge. You might ask, how does universal intelligence wish to express prosperity through my unique life? What forms of abundance will best serve my soul's evolution and contribution? As impressions, feelings, images, or insights arise, receive them without judgment. These may be glimpses of the universe's prosperity plan for you, potentially quite different from what your rational mind might have conceived. Finally, affirm your willingness to partner in this co-creative process. I now align myself with the divine prosperity plan for my life. I commit to following the guidance I receive and taking inspired action in partnership with universal intelligence. I trust that as I do my part, the universe is doing its part to bring perfect abundance into my experience. This approach to manifestation transcends the limitations of ego-driven desires and opens you to what spiritual traditions call grace, unexpected blessings that arrive not because you've manipulated energy to get what you want, but because you've aligned yourself with a higher wisdom that knows what you truly need. Many participants who practice prosperity co-creation report receiving forms of abundance they would never have thought to ask for. Business opportunities more aligned with their true talents, unexpected windfalls that arrive at precisely the right moment, connections with exactly the right people to further their purpose, and even challenging situations that initially seem negative but ultimately lead to extraordinary prosperity. One participant, Rebecca, had been using conventional manifestation techniques to attract a specific job she believed would provide the income she needed. After beginning the practice of prosperity co-creation, she felt guided to decline that opportunity despite her rational mind's protests. 2 weeks later, she was offered a position she hadn't even known existed, one that provided significantly higher compensation while also allowing her to express her true gifts in ways her desired job would not have permitted. These 3 abundance accelerators, prosperity immersion, prosperity service, and prosperity co-creation, work together to create what I call manifestation momentum. Instead of having to put constant effort into attracting abundance, you reach a tipping point where prosperity begins to generate its own momentum in your life, with each manifestation naturally leading to the next in an expanding spiral of abundance. Now, I want to address a question that often arises when people begin implementing these practices. What about taking practical action? Is this all just energy work, or should I be doing something in the physical world as well? This is an excellent question that gets to the heart of how manifestation actually works. The vibrational asset alignment method is not about replacing practical action with energy work. Rather, it's about ensuring that your actions emerge from the right consciousness so that they're maximally effective. When you take action from a state of alignment with prosperity consciousness, several things happen. First, you become magnetically attractive to the resources, connections, and opportunities that can help you succeed. People are naturally drawn to those who embody prosperity energy, often without knowing exactly why. Second, your intuition becomes much more reliable. When you're no longer operating from fear or scarcity, you can more clearly discern which actions will truly advance your prosperity and which are simply busy work or distraction. Third, you develop what I call energetic efficiency. the ability to accomplish more with less effort because you're working with universal flow rather than against it. Many participants report that after establishing prosperity consciousness, they actually do less but achieve more because their actions are more inspired and aligned. So yes, practical action is an essential part of manifestation, but it's action that emerges organically from a state of prosperity consciousness rather than anxious doing or hustle born of scarcity fear. I encourage you to practice what I call inspired action meditation. After your morning prosperity priming, take a few minutes to center in your abundance consciousness and simply ask, what is the single most aligned action I can take today to advance my prosperity? Then wait in receptive silence for the answer that emerges from your intuition rather than your thinking mind. This one aligned action, taken consistently from a state of prosperity consciousness, will create more results than dozens of actions taken from anxiety or lack. As we conclude our journey through the hidden dimension of the law of attraction, I want to emphasize something important. This work isn't just about creating more wealth in your life, although that will certainly happen. It's about fundamentally transforming your relationship with abundance itself, so that prosperity becomes your natural state rather than something you're constantly trying to attract or achieve. When this transformation occurs, you'll notice profound changes, not just in your financial circumstances, but in every aspect of your life. Your relationships will improve as you no longer approach them from neediness or lack. When you embody abundance, you naturally attract relationships based on mutual giving rather than taking or proving. Your health often improves as the chronic stress of scarcity consciousness is replaced by the peaceful certainty of abundance. Many participants report improvements in sleep, digestion, immune function, and overall vitality as they release the energetic burden of financial anxiety. Your creativity expands dramatically when you're no longer constraining it with concerns about resources or security. From a state of abundance consciousness, you feel free to express your gifts fully without the limitation of, "But how will this pay the bills?" Your spiritual connection deepens as you experience the universe as a loving, supportive presence that desires your prosperity rather than a harsh taskmaster or indifferent force. This shift often heals deep wounds in one's spiritual understanding and relationship with the divine. And perhaps most importantly, your capacity to fulfill your unique purpose in the world expands exponentially. When you're no longer consumed with basic survival or financial struggle, you're free to focus your energy on the contribution only you can make, the reason your soul chose to incarnate at this particular time in history. This is the true promise of the hidden dimension of the law of attraction. Not just material wealth, but a profound transformation that allows you to become who you were always meant to be and to offer your unique gifts to a world that desperately needs them. I invite you to begin this journey today. Start with the simple practices I've shared, the 17-minute prosperity protocol, the daily prosperity integration formula, and the 3 abundance accelerators. Apply them with consistency and an open heart, trusting that as you do your part, the universe is doing its part to bring perfect prosperity into your experience. Remember that transformation is a process, not an event. There may be days when you don't feel particularly abundant or when your external circumstances seem to contradict your inner work. These are precisely the moments when your practice is most powerful, when you choose to maintain prosperity, consciousness, despite temporary appearances to the contrary. And as you continue this journey, know that you're not alone. Thousands have walked this path before you, transforming their relationship with abundance through these exact principles. Their experiences confirm what spiritual traditions have taught for millennia, that prosperity is your birthright, that abundance is the natural state of the universe, and that by aligning with these truths, you open yourself to a life of extraordinary wealth in all its forms. I honor your commitment to this work and the courage it takes to release old patterns that no longer serve you. The journey you're undertaking isn't always easy, but it is infinitely rewarding. With each step you take toward embodying your true prosperity consciousness, you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to the elevation of collective abundance consciousness on our planet. As you integrate these teachings and experience their fruits in your life, I encourage you to become a prosperity wayshower for others. Share not just these principles, but the living demonstration of what's possible when one fully embraces their divine wealth blueprint. Your transformed life becomes a lighthouse that guides others toward their own abundance awakening. And now I have a simple request. If this teaching has resonated with you and you're committed to implementing these principles in your life, please type gratitude in the comments below as a symbol of your readiness to receive the abundance that is your birthright. Your declaration creates a powerful energetic marker that says to the universe, I am ready to fully embody my prosperity consciousness. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video in this series, where I'll be sharing advanced prosperity techniques that build upon what you've learned today. Remember, you are prosperity consciousness in human form. This is not something you need to become. It's who you already are beneath the layers of conditioning and limitation. As you reclaim this truth, you reclaim not just material abundance, but the fullness of life that is your divine inheritance. Thank you for joining me on this journey of prosperity awakening. May the abundance of the universe flow to you and through you in perfect divine timing, blessing not only your life, but the lives of all you touch. Remember that true wealth isn't measured merely in dollars and cents, but in the richness of your experience, the depth of your contribution, and the joy with which you live each day. As you embody your prosperity consciousness, you become living proof that abundance is the natural state of the universe, and that when we align with this truth, miracles become our daily experience. Until next time, I am holding the vision of your perfect prosperity with absolute certainty. The wealth you seek is already seeking you. Open your arms, open your heart, and receive the abundance that has been waiting for you all along. If this video has touched something deep within you, if you feel called to this path of prosperity transformation, please type Amen or gratitude in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when our next revelation is ready for you. The universe is infinitely abundant, and so are you. Embrace this truth, live from this truth, and watch as your life transforms in ways more beautiful than you could have imagined. May your prosperity overflow and bless our world. Until we meet again.